I'm Liz Villardo. I'm an internist. I was born and raised in California. I started my life in healthcare in the 70s as a nurse. I was a military nurse. And then I worked in dialysis and worked around the area, went to medical school, and then residency at UCLA. And then I came up here and was fortunate enough to get a job with the old Sunnyvale Medical Clinic working. And I worked both in the clinic and in physician leadership. So for many years I was involved in physician leadership, and in fact I was the chair of their board for a number of years. We then I did my MBA, and that was a strategic plan for us to join the Palo Alto Medical Foundation and Sutter Health. So we became part of that large not-for-profit. So now we have basically a medical group that's attached to a large not-for-profit. I was in medical group leadership. I also served on the board of directors of Sutter Health. You might know it, a small little organization, 27 hospitals. Third largest company in the United States. I mean, the 300th largest company in the United States. Have served on that not-for-profit board, and most recently I took over as president of the Camino region. So a large part of I have about 300 physicians and a number of buildings around and staff, and working with the physicians there. So I still practice a little bit, and so I have lots of perspective on all these different things. Okay. And I was a nurse. So you can like me.
Good afternoon. I'm Peter Welch, and I'm the president of Cigna Healthcare here in California. I've been with Cigna since 2000, and prior to that I spent time at United Healthcare and the Travelers Insurance Company. I've been on the insurance company side since I got out of college, and I'm actually a third-generation insurance company nerd. It's good to be here.
Wow. Thank you, Peter. And I'll also note that Dan Rosenthal was going to be on our panel. He is the CEO of United Healthcare. He was pulled away a few days ago into some more important business meetings than we're engaged in right now. He very much extends his apologies and wanted to be here. We'll certainly miss his perspective, but I think our esteemed panel will do just fine. So to kick off our first question, I want to look at the larger economy. So what does healthcare look like in the bigger perspective? How does it fit into the U.S. economy together or today? Tim, can you kick us off with some first comments about that?
Sure. There's a lot you could talk about, healthcare and the economy. A lot of us, we hear about it constantly, especially because of health reform and things like this. It is a large part of the economy of the United States, 15–16% of GDP. It's about half that in a lot of other, developed countries around the world. When I talk to people at Stanford, actually, just on that one point, they'll tell you that's mostly it's a combination of price, meaning that people in healthcare in the Netherlands or in the UK don't make nearly the money that they make in the United States. That's the bulk of the difference actually between things, that they actually don't do medicine that differently. And then the rest of it is rationing, or whatever we want to call it. If you're over 70 years old, you don't automatically, you can't get heart surgery in the UK or whatever unless you pay for it privately. Those kinds of things. The end-of-life issues where a lot of money is spent in the United States are just, there's not that much money spent on end-of-life in other countries. And those two things make up pretty much that difference. But in the United States, obviously, given where we're going and really a lot of where the world's going, there's not the luxury of the money anymore. You can only print so much money to provide so much. And at least the federal government has a printing press for a time, and for a season they can print away. But states don't have that luxury, counties and cities don't have that luxury, and employers don't have that luxury. And so I know for Packard, we get kids from about 40 states around the country every year. We're a very high-end pediatric facility, so pretty much all we do is the highest end of pediatrics. And we've seen, just ever since the market